On this
So
episode, we are opening up our Kickstarter from Mr. Ben Ferrari, coolest name in comics. And we're also talking about our collection. Let's see, what did you call it? The status of our current comic collection. Boom, boom, boom. And welcome to another episode of This Is Why I Love Comics. I'm Andy.
and I'm like,
And hello there. This is episode insert episode number here. We are discussing a few things and we're just kind of easing back in. It's a June stormy day. I hear voices.
that's
Um,
mine. And
oh, okay.
normally they're all quiet and things have settled down, but I got some people running around.
Yeah, usually it's on my side too, so I'm surprised no one stopped by yet, but
Give them a chance.
whatever. Yeah, so the other day, I know I've had it a couple days because you were on vacation. We got this in the mail. Not show,
Yes.
not showing addresses, but from Ben Ferrari, his Kickstarter of Kanin the Marauder came in just like he said it would. Welcomed and open arms. I haven't opened mine yet, and we thought we'd do an opening here right in front of you all. At least you YouTube and Patreon members get to see it first. Exciting, right? Yes. And I think we both got the same thing, all four issues. Is that right,
Yeah,
Mike?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the route I took.
Yeah. I figured just getting one issue, I'm gonna be confused and not know what's going on, and I really wanted to just dive right in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was just, if he said it was a complete story arc, and since it's the first of it, if there is an origin, it'd be in there. And if there's some sort of like resolution to the story, then it's like, okay, great way to just kind of wrap it all up in a nice little bow.
Yep. And if you missed his Kickstarter, he is preparing to do a trade of all these issues with some bonus material. And you can check it out on Kickstarter. Pilot Studios, he will be happy to have you on the next Kickstarter where all this and more is going to be at. So that'll be fun. Do you want to open it first? I do, I do.
I'm going to have to go. I'm probably going to go camera shy for a second as I rummage around trying to find it.
All right, I will talk while you do that.
Okay. One moment, please.
Watch this. I'll make Mike disappear. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whoa! Mike's changing his pants and everything. He's looking around, making noises. Yeah, Ben Ferrari, we had him on a previous episode. I think it was 97, maybe 96. Um, and he discussed his love for his Extreme Studios days, and of course his Kickstarter. It was issue. It was episode 96. Yeah, on the road to 100. Ben Ferrari, Kanin the Marauder. So that's what we're gonna open up right now. Mike's logging back in.
Yep. Sorry about
Let's
that. I
see
had
him
to
right now.
do a little dealy do, but yeah, found mine. I got
Awesome.
fragile on it as
Fragile.
well.
I didn't. Man,
Yeah,
that's.
didn't mean that they actually paid attention to that at all, but
I did have a please do not bend on it, so
yeah.
And he underlined Ben of the Bend Ferrari, like the bend, like he no,
Again.
he didn't. That
Oh,
was just me.
dang.
So I'm gonna do a little knife work here,
Yep. I'm gonna grab my X-Acto knives.
and we'll just excitingly open it up, and we'll edit out the non-exciting parts. We still have episode we've never published about us opening the Hero Quest
Oh, yes.
Kickstarter.
God, how long ago was that? That was like 2021, maybe?
Yeah, I still have it on file somewhere, the video. So, or did we do a video? Was it all audio and we were just
It was
talking?
all audio. We didn't have that glorious capabilities.
All right, I have
So,
both
did
written in
yours
mind.
come as smooshed? Like, I say smooshed, but like the corners of
Uh,
mine are like at a good like 45 degrees.
nope,
They're
mine is
crumpled.
pristine. He
But
liked me better.
yeah.
All right, I got it.
Okay,
Opening
so
mine up.
yep, that part's open. Now we got the Gemini comic supply inner box.
That's right. I just flipped mine open. He's got some tape in there too. I'm gonna throw that down there. Yeah, I got that.
Yay. So I am pleasantly surprised already.
Okay.
Uh, uh, uh.
Whoa, it is personalized.
Yeah, so not necessarily the Gemini shipper, obviously, because that's not going to survive, but the two cardboard box uh, wrap. That's
Okay.
really, I mean,
Now I got it. Now I have to keep it because look, I got one too.
hey, there you go. Very, very nice. I mean, you
Yeah.
look at it, and I mean, clearly it's a character he's been working on for quite a while.
Yeah.
That, was able to just throw together, bust out the Sharpie and get right at it. There's no pencil sketch. There's no, it's the, right directly to the art.
Right. And of course, you got 4 issues. I got 4 issues. We may have different covers even. I know there's some different stuff. Um,
Okay. That's really cool, though. And yeah, like you said, got the thanks Michael on there.
yeah, he said, I like you better than Mike. Did you see that?
Oh,
That's,
that's,
did you see
huh.
that note?
Mine says, don't tell Andy, but, oh, wait.
Dang it. All right, who's going to show off issue one first?
Okay. I'm actually having to put them back in order. They kind of got, because they're already bagged and bordered.
Yep.
And I'm just going to show issue 4 had the little postcard feature
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that. Yep.
on the back.
Got it too.
So I think I went with the standard cover set. I don't know if there was an option necessarily to go any other way, but um,
I think you're right, but I
we'll
think
find
on
out.
issues one, two, and three, I think maybe there was a chance we were going to get non-standard. I'm not sure. We'll find out together.
Yeah. So
All
you ready? Issue
right,
one.
issue one. Boom. See?
Oh, you
Different.
got a different one.
Yeah, got it.
So I got
Cool.
the
And little signature right there.
yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is funny because like if you look at it, it looks like it says BMFM with a dot. And it's like, man, if you think about how many he must have been signing after a while, it's like, sweet Moses, that's a lot to sign.
Right. Yeah, sure is.
So that's
All
good
right.
though. It's like
That's,
I was kind of curious to see what covers you got, like if they were the same covers or if not. But
yeah.
that's your number one,
Yeah, that's my number one.
huh?
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Is like usually there's some trade dress that kind of denotes, um, this is the main cover, and so the ones that don't have that trade dress, I'm assuming would be the standard covers, because I do feel like this one actually has, this is a true bend. So my issue 2 is the, I think more of the we'll call it
Standard.
the standard Ben
Okay.
Ferrari cover. So I got this one. Oops, my number 2.
Okay. All right. That's my number two.
Ah, so you almost wondered, is he shuffling these things? Because like at the top of this one, it has like that trade dress where it says like Pilot
Oh
Studio.
yeah, yeah. And I do have one of those. The next issue
And
is
oh, okay.
yeah, and it says third issue. So maybe I got the regular cover for that one.
Huh. Okay, because I didn't get that one. I
Okay.
got, this is my number 3.
Oh yeah, I liked
The
that
boat.
one too. That one was a
Yeah,
good
that
one.
was a pretty cool
Okay.
cover.
This was my third one.
Oh, dang.
And he signed all these, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
And he's using the metallic ink pen, which is like you kind of have to let that stuff dry for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just a matter of just calling it, here you go, but it's actually got an acid. So it's like that. That's a lot of time, and you just wonder, it's like, did he lay these things out and then sign, let that section dry, then go over to another table, sign, and let those dry? I don't know.
Right.
Then
Opening
right
up
for
my
number 4, I've got the standard cover. Again, I'm making these assumptions because it's got that band across the top.
Okay. I did not get a standard one on that one. I got
Okay,
this one.
so you got the old man, and I
Yep.
got kind of the almost same pose, just
Right.
decades earlier, apparently.
Yep. Pretty cool. Yeah, this one was not in the silver. His
Yeah, I was gonna say that one
signature.
it looked like you got it signed in like a more of a standard Sharpie.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, but bagged, boarded, and shipped well. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and then all of them were signed. Oh, I didn't look, but oh yeah, the postcard. I'm gonna have to open it up and see if the postcard had anything on the back side of it. Uh, no, it's just a digital
Just
print,
postcard. Okay.
so it's blank in the back.
All right.
So when we meet him at some sort of con in the far-flung future,
We
some
have
material
something for
for him
him
to
to sign.
sign.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I am
Yeah,
happy with that Kickstarter. I'm sure uh, we'll read it for the show or
yeah, it would be good. It would be good to kind of give it a, like you said, it's a story arc on of itself. So it'd be good to kind of get a sense. But yeah, I mean, now here's the question mark: what do you do with the old cardboard drawing?
oh, I mean, you got to keep it.
You got it,
So,
yeah, because it's just like it went from being like, oh, that's. Then I'm like going, well, is that what you use to divide this from the other books in your collection? It's like,
oh
you
yeah,
see that
maybe
cardboard that I have in between
good idea. I don't know how
that
you preserve it.
denotes.
Yeah. I opened up number one, looked page through it. Feels good quality. It's got a little ad on the back for carriers.
Oh, well,
Um,
self promo there or cross
yeah,
promotion of their own books.
yep. And he's they just I saw on his TikTok that they were doing the first trade again. Like you had a deadline to order it for a new trade of Carriers One, and that piqued my interest. But I missed the deadline, so I don't know if it's gonna. So Kanin the Marauder, that's cool. I really like that.
Yeah, I'm looking up the Kickstarter to kind of get a sense, but looks like just the he did like 3 different covers options.
Okay.
So Yeah, that was actually really quite cool. That I didn't make the connection that there were going to be. Ah, okay. So
Would
it
you just
looks like I'm just again, this makes for great podcast. Me going, hey, oh,
picture? Oh,
but it is actually pretty cool to see all four covers for Marauder number 3. So there was a fourth one in that case, but it looks like most of them had three different variant covers. So
okay, all
that's
right,
pretty cool.
yeah,
And you're thinking, like, what is the print quantity that he's got different covers and he's got because most printers are like, hey, just keep the file pretty straightforward and we'll
yeah,
just print these again and again. We're not going to dive deep into all these variations and shifts and stuff like that in our print because it's just too difficult to kind of like make these minute changes. I mean, it's not that it's difficult. They can do anything, but they just charge for it.
right. Yeah, and it might be, I mean, way back when I was looking at stuff, back in the 90s or whatever, it was a complicated process. I bet you nowadays it's a bit easier. Um, with digital files and all that stuff. I'm sure you know a bit
Yeah.
more about that than I do, but I'm sure they've smoothed it out to where maybe they could do some alternative color covers on the cheap end, and do smaller print runs than they used to been. Because I remember.
Well,
Go ahead.
even the big guns, Marvel and DC are doing limited print runs,
Yeah,
and that's just called a normal press. They're not. They're all going to be limited at this point. Because what is it like? A normal comic these days is doing like maybe 12,000 copies or something like that. It's not
yeah,
even.
yeah. It's only the absolutes that we're doing like 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
higher numbers.
but how many variant covers do they have to do for that number to get up that high? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all racket.
Now
Uh,
I'm looking at my copy, number 1, and okay, it is saddle stitch, but it's kind of got a slight quasi perfect binding on it. Like it's meant to almost have that,
like a
what is
trade.
it called? Like prestige feel, where it's just kind of got that square binding.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks like number two is like that too.
So I think it has to do with the page count, like how many pages you can get. But I mean, there's no ads, and there's a backup story, a couple pinups. Yeah, it's a fun, and I'm just thinking like, man, not only did he sign them, but he bagged and boarded all of these.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the printer's not doing that. And I
Nope.
just, whew, that's commitment,
Right.
commitment to telling the tale and getting it out there to people.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it, and maybe when we do our YouTube brainstorming and stuff in the future, we can pick his brain about stuff when we want to print it or something. But that's a
Yeah.
little bit ways down the line, and yeah, I'm looking forward to opening this up. Carriers kind of piques my interest too, so I might have to see if I can get a copy of that sometime.
Now, wasn't there like an animated movie, like one of those early CGI when there was just so many companies out there doing CGI work that was like called Valiant, I think it was, and it was about carrier pigeons in World War II or
Oh,
World War I, or it has like an era, to it.
hmm,
I'm trying to remember what it was, but obviously it's not the same, but it's just one of those where it's like the unsung, you know, uh, heroes of sorts of an era that's kind of come and gone.
right, yeah. I don't know. I have to look at that too. In the back, I recently uncovered a bunch of old stories of mine, and I actually have a bird story too. I was like, oh, I remember this now. It was pretty amazing to find old stories that I didn't remember. They didn't all stay up in my head when I got older. Something had to leave for something new to come
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Remembering kids' names
Right.
or a
Yeah.
story I wrote in high school.
Right. Yeah. So it's been fun too. Huh. So that is Kanin the Marauder, our
The unboxing.
unboxing. And we waited way too long for that, but that was my fault. But
Yeah, I mean, he shipped them out, and we got them in a decent amount of time, so it wasn't like,
yeah, we didn't just get them.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll
he
get it
was.
when we
It
get the
was
next recording going.
right. Yeah, it was very prompt. Like he went and did what he had to do, close it up, and maybe took him a week and a half. I don't know, like that. So it was very prompt. If you get a chance to do a Kickstarter with Pilot Studios, go ahead. He's got the thumbs up from me, um, and got his books out on time. Of course, he said he had them done already, so
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. Like I just have to put it out there, and people have to back it. It's already done, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
It's very inspiring. I think is what I would almost boil it down. It's one of those things where it's like, and if this guy can do it, and this is in absolutely no way of downplaying what he's able to accomplish, but there's something about if he can pull this off, and have a universe that he's building on his own, and Kickstarter's funding it, you just like, there's got to be something that, if you're inspired to do it, this guy's showing you how. He's kind of the trailblazer.
Right.
Others are out there, but just, man, it's I can get it printed and distributed, and yeah,
Yep. Just go right by the steps and just do it.
yep. I just realized I'm wearing the wrong glasses. These are my reading glasses, not my prescription ones. So
Oh, that's
I
okay.
can
I'm
go
just reading your screen off your
full.
reflection.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going full like white eye look here, and I was like, dang it, sorry
It's
about
like
that.
it's like a cyberpunk look,
Yeah, I'm downloading it now. Let me
right?
get through the black ice.
This next thing we were going to talk about, the status of our comics,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
collection.
Before we dive into that, I just caught a couple bits of news this morning. One good, one bad, but I'll hit up the bad one. I don't know if you remember the actor, kind of more of a character actor, but I think his name was like Rene Auberjonois or something like that. I can't remember how it's pronounced. But he played Odo in Deep Space Nine, if you're a Star Trek fan.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he was also Clayton in the Benson TV show.
He
This
was.
snooty,
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
yeah. But he was a
Yeah.
voice actor in a lot of cartoons and had a very distinct and distinguished voice. He passed away today, so that's,
No.
it's not like one of those actors that would get like a huge memorial, like holy crap, everybody stopped work. Where but it's just one of those where it's like, huh,
Hmm.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's that was a little bit rough to kind of like, oh man, and not to gloss over that, but it was just kind of one of those that hit. But then I saw it got posted that one of my favorite animators, which is that talk about voice actors in animation, Gendy Tartakovsky is doing Conan, an animated Conan.
Ooh.
So that just got leaked out there. So
Okay. That's
apparently
pretty.
he's been wanting to do Conan for that. I think they were saying this almost like 20 years. He's been trying to get this up and running. Um, but if you've seen his Primal, and if you've seen his work on the Star Wars, Clone Wars, the actual
Yeah, the
cartoon
original.
version,
Yeah.
and not the CG stuff, but I mean, the guy Dexter's Lab. I mean, he can do just about anything he sets his mind to. That, and it comes out amazing. So Looking forward to seeing that. There's a loose plot, and it's going to be on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
So even
All
though it's
right.
Cartoon Network producing it, it's going
Yeah.
to be released on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, some bits of news that I thought worth the share.
Yeah. We need a good Conan cartoon.
Yeah, because I mean, what was the last Conan related? Was it the guy who's playing Lobo?
Oh, did he do Conan?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jason. No, not Jason.
Momoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he did Conan, the theatrical Conan. But I feel like there might have been like another attempt to do kind of a Conan in syndication.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I was just like, so to have him do it, it's like, yay.
Great. Yeah. And you know it's going to be good. So um, that'll be cool. I look forward to that. I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes over, but
Hmm.
I am trying to log into my uh-oh, maybe I'll have to do it via my phone.
Oh, oh.
My database. Now, the reason why I suggested we do our collection thing was that I came across just one of those things where, we talk comics and so forth, and do we have any of the credentials, so to speak, to back it up? Do we have, you know, the bona fides to say, yep, we know what we're talking about. We've got this. Um, we've been collecting for a while, and how many? And I was in the process of cataloging on my books, and I know you use a different app than I do,
Yeah.
but I use this free app that's just called Comic Geeks, and I have not really found too many issues that are not in here.
Okay.
My brother, he has found more of his books that he's like, nope, that's not in my, that's not on the database. That's not, and it has more to do with that. He's finding like Golden Age comics,
Yeah.
and this is all like a user input and user moderated, um, you know, uh, site, so it's handled differently. Um, So, if no one's found that issue or input that issue on their own, it's not going to be in there.
It's not there, yeah.
So, that's why he has some issue, no pun intended, but that's
Ha
why he's having
ha.
some problems with
Yeah.
it. Um, so I downloaded. I'm looking at my app, and um, my son, myself, and my brother, which sounds like a really bad movie, but we
Is that like
wound up.
three men and a little lady? Is that
Yeah, we wound up spending almost the entirety of a Sunday, like basically from like 9 a.m. till well past midnight, trying to organize my comics and get them out of these long boxes that I had them in, put them in short boxes, get
yeah,
these things, and I was going to bag and board these things and get rid of these old bags. I've got bags that your comic collection is old when you're peeling your bags apart. You can hear that
yep.
every time you pull out these issues. It's like, ooh, those bags are eating my comics alive.
I know exactly what sound that is.
Yeah, so if
I did
you're
the
a true comics fan, you'll know that sound. It's like,
yeah,
ooh, that's and these comics are just, yeah, they're just stuck. Like, yeah, I pull one and like 10 comics come up with it, and they're all just fused into a block, and it's like,
yeah. At
oh,
least it wasn't Wonder Bread, bags, right?
yeah. Yeah. I remember there were a few times where I was like, I'm gonna have to make do. And I've seen some people who have like those letter size sheet protectors, and they use that and they drop their comics into those, and then
Mhm.
they just put them into a folder, and then they put the folder on a shelf, and it's like that's that's kind of overkill, you
A
know?
lot of space.
Yeah, yeah, to do what you're doing there. But yeah, so let me shoot some questions that I had for you.
All
And
right. Well, let
if
me plug my app that I use, CLZ Comics. It's just, I mean, a lot of people use it. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first when they first started, and I bought it. They had a different kind of
oh
pricing thing back
yeah,
then.
different pricing model.
Yeah, and so when I bought it, it was for life. I spent a little more money than the regular, and then they changed to a monthly subscription thing years later, and so I'm still grandfathered in. The weird thing, like on their Facebook page, on their CLZ Facebook page, you get a lot of guilty people going, "Why don't you just pay for the monthly? You know, it's the, why don't you give them some more money since you're using it so much?" I'm like, I would, but I'm the one that, paid for it originally. Like I'm the
Yeah,
one, I helped them start their business, you
yeah,
know.
yep. You
There's
know,
got to
that's
be
why it's
some
called
perks,
grandfathered in.
right? So it's a weird thing. I had to get out of that group just because of all the people going, "Oh, you should be giving them their money." And there's some things I don't have. Like if you're a monthly subscriber, you get different perks and stuff, and I don't get them. So I mean, you are paying for things that I don't get, but I get all the functions that I want already. So,
Mm.
but I do get CLZ. I've had it for years, and so I input all my comics in there, and I don't have as much of a problem as your brother does because there's so many people that use it that it's it. Chances are, I think I've had run into two books that that nobody else had on there. So that's what I use. So thank you, CLZ.
Yeah. So, um, at the height of your collection, okay, I'm going to ask this one.
Okay.
At the height of of your collection, if you were to count short boxes, not long boxes, how many short boxes do you think your comic collection would have had?
How many short boxes?
Yeah.
At the height of my comics, which is not currently, my height was probably around 2005, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got divorced and had to sell some. That's another story. Um,
Brother.
but that at that height, I probably, whew, that's a lot of short boxes. I'm probably back then it was long boxes.
Yeah.
Um, I still have probably five or six long boxes. The rest are short. How many? I didn't count them, but let me in my head here. I know where I store it, so I'm counting. Uh, Probably, I don't know. I'm probably not thinking this. Probably 30.
Okay. Okay. That's still a
Uh,
healthy number.
yeah.
Because you think about, like, if you can cram
Uh,
150 to 170 comics in a short box,
yeah. It's got to be
30
more
is,
than. I think it's more than 30, but
yeah.
I mean, I know how many I had at the time, how many comics.
Yeah, well, then let's go that route.
Um, I know at the most I've had, and I do not have this many now. The most I had was about 13,000.
Oh, holy crap. Okay, I'm doing the math here at that point. So
So
13,000, and you can get, let's say 150. Let's say you really crammed them in,
yeah,
175 comics
double
on.
bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We double bagged them, no boards, just
No boards. Not back then.
um so 13,000 divided by 175. Can't do it in my head. Well, according to this, That's 74 short boxes.
Okay. And now I had long boxes, and it was at least, I mean, I there was a lot of long boxes.
Yeah.
Um so okay, 74 short boxes. That seems right. I don't like I said, I right now I am at about 9,000.
Wow.
So
Wow. 9,000 comics. Wow.
well, you
Okay.
asked.
Yeah. Well, then, okay. Now I'm going to ask the next one. Um,
Well, with the Kanin ones, it's 9,004.
four.
Uh,
Yeah. With a collection of that many books, um, I'll throw the obvious question at you. How many did you read? How many have you read? Was it 100%, 90%, 50?
boy, uh, I, but I know from when I started collecting till about the year 2000, I read every single issue I had, every single one.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. I was just plowing through. Um, but there's a couple years I didn't collect, and I'm sure I probably didn't even read. They just were in storage. And then when I started back up, my read pile got bigger and bigger. I bet you when it comes down to it now, out of what I own now, I probably have only read about 60% of them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably half, a little over half. Um, and a lot of that is, I'll buy runs, but if I'm missing an issue, I'm not reading it till I get that issue. And
That's
then
where I was going to head.
and then I don't necessarily pursue that issue. Like if I find it great, but if I have three missing issues and the rest of the series, I haven't read a single issue of that series, so those three issues are found and in my collection. And that's not always the case, but a lot of it, you know, I'm gonna wait and read it so I can enjoy the entire what it was meant to. I don't like skipping an issue, even when I was collecting like the new Teen Titans back when they were coming out. It was my favorite book. Sometimes that comic rack at the gas station didn't have, at the 7-Eleven didn't have that issue. For someone else bought it, or I was running late and they flipped them out. And I can remember a specific number of issues that I could not find them anywhere, and I eventually got them at an actual comic store. But man, I didn't read them.
Mm,
They were just piling up.
yeah. Now, there was a time where you and I were getting the comics from a distributor directly,
Yep.
and what was the discount on that? Because, like, I know you had to hit a minimum number of comics that we were buying, but
Yeah.
was it 30% off? Was it 40, or what was the discount? Like, how much off the cover price were we getting comics?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good deal. It was M&M distributors, something like that.
Mm,
Um, and for a while there, I don't know if they were treating us like a store, but I mean, we were we were getting a lot of comics, and you had to reach minimums. Like if you ordered 60 comics, you get 25% off. If you order 100, you'd get 35%. I think really we were getting 35 to 40% off on
mhm.
some months. And we had other friends, throwing in to getting other comics too, so that helped out a lot. We probably had five or six people ordering at one point um, through that subscription. So yeah, it was at least 30%
Yeah.
off those cover prices, which made me buy more. I was
Yeah.
saving money, but I bought more comics. So
Yeah, you just basically turned right back into the into the system.
yeah,
Um, with okay, now I'm going to ask. This is moral dilemma. Okay, so these are some scruple questions. And I'm going to say this out of my own personal experience. Have you ever bought a series and you're reading them, and the story and the art just gets worse by the issue. And you're now like 20 issues into this series, and you're like, yeah, I made it to issue 20, I'm good. And you call it quits, right? You're thinking
Yeah.
like, okay, that is a good number to end it on. It can continue its saga without me. And then you find out later that it only went to issue 23. Where do you go? Do you just say, hey, I called it at that
Yeah.
point? Or do you go, dang, there's only three more issues and I would have the complete run? Where do you sit on that?
Yeah. I mean, that's happened. I can think of a couple instances. For me, I would go out and buy the three. Like, if I'm only three shy of the complete run, I'm gonna go get the complete run. Even if I hated 10 of the 20 issues, you know. Um, there was there was a Legion series L period E period G period, like,
Oh yeah.
it wasn't
Yep.
Legion, it was an acronym or whatever. Um, and they had eventually gone into a book called Rebels, and for the same kind of idea, and it just wasn't as good. And I bought maybe the first six issues, and then found out, like, I think it was another 10 issues, like it lasted, and I went back and got them, just I wanted the complete
Wow.
thing. Um, I know when I sold, like, I got Walking Dead all in trades. And no, what was it? Walking Dead? No, it was Why the Last Man. I got Why the Last Man
Mm.
all in trades, and I just wasn't enjoying the last couple trades. And to find out there was only one more trade that I could have bought, and I sold it on eBay like one trade shy of the whole complete. So like, like, oh, come on, you know, just just didn't happen that way. Has that happened to you?
Yeah, yeah. There was after Cosmic Odyssey, a DC relaunched a New Gods title, and I
Yes.
think I got like the first 20, and that's where I think it ended on 23 or 24 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
And
was
never went back to get them.
okay.
And one of the things was I was not very good at remembering which ones I already had. So, and the infrequency that we would hit a comic shop at the time in some cases where it's like, man, I didn't go, or something else happened, or whatever it was. And I'm like, well, you know, um, I would never just remember. And it's like, which issues? When did I stop? Do I want to grab this one? I don't want to get a double. So it's like, well, crap. So I wound up not getting those other issues. And I mean, I could probably pick them up for, in a quarter bin almost at this point. But
Probably, yeah.
um, it started off pretty strong because it had like Paris Cullens doing the art, and he
Mm.
was kind of doing like his style, which was more Kirby with,
Yeah, heavy
image
inks.
version of Kirby, if you would.
Yeah.
And it looked good, it felt right, and then he just continued to kind of morph his style, and then he left the book and somebody else came in, and the writer, and they were just making up crap, and it was just getting,
Yeah, I have one issue of that series still. The rest I sold all of mine. I have this issue. That's not
oh
very good.
yeah, with the
The Dark
galactic, oh
Side.
sorry, the dark side
Yeah, number
statue.
7. And I think I recently picked that up for $1, just to see what it was about. But yeah, I sold my that series long ago, as well. Yeah, it was Paris Cullens and Will Blyberg did the inks.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there was Justice League International,
Okay.
and that was like the comedy just got excessive. It was one of those things when, like, when Justice League came out, you had Kevin McGuire art, Keith Giffen was one of the co-writers. It was a great run, and then it got super popular. And but when they did it, it started off as serious superhero tales, and then they kind of like one joke, and then the next issue one and a half jokes, and then three jokes, then four, and it got to the point where it was just like, is this the Three Stooges in spandex,
Right.
or is this, so they just got way into the weeds, um when it came to like being humorous, to the point where it's like, oh, they're just cute. And they had that offshoot title called Justice League International with Bart Sears doing the art.
Yeah, it turned into Europe, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Justice League
Yeah.
Europe. Justice League
Yeah.
Europe. That's what I
Oh
meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bart Sears. Yeah.
And I think I got almost that whole run. And there's like one issue in the middle of it that I didn't get.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? And then I'm like going, I didn't like it. Why would I go out of my way to find that one issue?
Yeah.
But there is something, like you said, where it's like, it's so close to being, the OCD just says like you do need to wrap that one up. You need to
Yeah.
grab that.
Yeah, I was collecting that at the time too. I have most of the Just League International ones, but I too kind of bought that after I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I have the first 45 issues of that,
Yeah.
and then I think it turned back to Just League America with Dan Jurgens and that,
Yep.
and so I have a lot of that too. But the Just League Europe, apparently I have the first 22 issues, and it went like at least 66 issues.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I didn't get that far then.
Yeah, I have a splattering of others, but that's about it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It
and
was
I'm
one
a
of
big
those.
Justice League fan, but just after a while, it just got tiring, like you said, and I was ready to move on, I think.
Yeah. And the characters weren't as engaging, and the story, the stakes were just not high. It was
Yeah,
just one of those things where it's like, well, what do superheroes do on laundry day?
right.
And
Yeah,
you're just like, nah, enough. I got it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get
They
it.
tried to do so much comedy, and some of it worked,
Hmm.
some of it didn't, and then the repetition of it, I think, is what, like you said, there was nothing serious in it after a while. It was just Three Stooges, and you know, that's not what we were looking for in our older years of collecting
Yeah.
in our 20s.
Well, uh, you know, you're kind of torn because you wanted good storytelling, but you weren't like, I just need a rock'em sock'em robots of, superheroes punching somebody every panel. But yeah, but that, obviously it led into the whole image, a decade or so later, where, Image Comics had everything was extreme and it was gritty. And so to have those Justice League, it was kind of a nice little like reprieve to get away from some of the other craziness. When things, when you look back and you go, man, it was dark.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
those Justice Leagues had Kevin McGuire art and I mean some
then it turned
great
into
stuff.
Chris Sprouse. No, not Chris Sprouse. Adam Hughes and Ty Templeton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some great talent in there.
yeah,
And I love Keith Giffen, but just after a while, you don't want to read Ambush Bug your whole life,
yeah.
It's just
I have 25 issues of Justice League Europe
okay.
going through my collection.
So
And
you lasted more than I did.
yeah, so it is a pretty solid run consistently, but I'm missing like issue 21 and 22 and 23. And then I've got 24, 25, 26, and
Okay.
27.
All right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm good. I think I quit because there was that issue 20 with the beef eater.
Yeah.
like that British dude, and it's like
Yeah.
this is just dumb.
Yep. That
And
must have
then
been.
they had kind of like a Starro connection, and
Yeah.
it's
See,
like,
I love
oh
a good Starro, so maybe that's why I stuck around. But
yeah, so 26, that looks like 25 through 27 was kind of the Starro
oh, now
run.
you're gonna make me go back and get them.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, just as a year, I kind of blanked out that one. So like that one's I'm missing a chunk. I got like then the one I'm struggling like what did I do was I have a run of what was called Legends of the Dark Knight.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I
Batman new title.
yep, yep, it was like his first solo title and blah 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 and it was just going to be this like maybe a two-story whatever, three-story, run, but it was never really like um something that was going to be in perpetuity. You
Yeah.
got got to keep it going because of how much things link together. And I was like,
Yeah. It
no, it
was
wasn't that.
rotating artists and stories, right?
Yep, different, different people writing, different people, doing the art. And I had a good run of that, only to find that um, I have 65 issues of Legends of the Dark Knight.
Wow. I have seven.
Ah, and right in the middle, I found I am missing one issue. Don't know
What
what
is
that
it?
issue is. No
I,
idea what happened. Why did I miss it?
I'll give it to you if I have it. What is it?
I'm going to do a little bit of digging. You might have to do a little editing here, but I think it was more towards the end of my run here. So I'm kind of like
Oh,
scanning here.
probably don't have it, but odds are against you. I know I had the Magnola like in the middle with Poison Ivy covers. I have issue one, but
Yeah, so I'm missing issue 63.
oh, I stop at 54, so
Okay. Yeah, because it's like I've got 1 through 62, and then I have 64, 65, 66.
nope, not
And
for
it's like,
me, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that series was pretty good. I think it's underrated, but I just at
I
the
like,
time Batman,
yeah, I like that it was just solo Batman. I like that it was just kind of like no commitment. You didn't feel like, oh man, this thing I gotta like if you remember like 20 issues ago, this happened. It's like, nope, don't care.
yeah,
20 issues ago, they don't care. So
not
that one was another one where it's like, if I ever come across issue 63 of Legends of the Dark Knight and I happen to remember,
right.
then I'll like
You'd
grab
pick
it.
it up, wouldn't you?
I
I
will
mean, why
say,
not?
what's that?
I mean, why not pick it up and
I
fill that
know,
gap?
I know. It's like so close.
That was the bad thing about getting it all digitally. Like I could bring it to when I go to dollar stores and comic stores and go through dollar bins.
Hmm.
It made me fill in gaps, and I mean in a way that's a great thing, but here's I don't even know what story it is, but apparently I don't have this, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy it. But overall it's worked out.
Now, have you found that, like in going through, I found issues I don't remember ever having. And it's like, did I buy that? I must have because it's in my collection.
Right, yeah. I have it marked
And
down.
yeah, because it's like, did I ever buy Alpha Flight? No, but I have 7 issues of Alpha Flight.
Yeah,
Of course, of the Mignola issues, but you
right.
know,
Yeah, and some of that is like, oh, it's a crossover, and I was picking them up because it tied in with Superman or, with whatever, and then you just file it away and don't remember it ever again.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. And then one of the things that I like about this Comic Geeks one is that it has a feature where you can kind of like look at, you can have your collection, you can have your wish list. So if there are key issues that you're really trying to find, unfortunately, I have drowned my wish list I have 407 comics on my wish list.
Wow,
And it's like, ooh,
that's a lot.
yeah, that's gonna like I don't think I'm gonna fill these gaps here. Um, but it is kind of cool because it gives me a chance to like, okay, do I have that one? Do I have this one? Do I not have this one? Um, and there's some where it's like I'm only one issue away from having it. And sometimes the other aspect is that the site tells you, oh, did you know they made an annual for that?
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like, what? Oh, no, I
All
thought
right.
I had it all.
Right.
And it's like, no, no, there's an annual. And you're like, dang it.
Yeah, those annuals will sneak up on you, or like they had a quarterly, or like
Yeah.
just something that
It's a
just
random one off issue that you never accounted for.
yeah, that's some Legion. Like you had shown me the other day an issue that you saw in the store out in the wild. An issue 2 or whatever of Legion of Superheroes, which wasn't an official number 2. It was a reprint in the 70s that they
Hmm.
did, it was a 4 issue series, whatever, but I never knew it existed until, you run across one and like, what, why is this number 1? There's no such thing as a number 1 Legion before this date. What is this? And then suddenly it just opens up this. Oh, I'm missing 4 issues of something that you really wanted, and um, it's just yeah. It was was collecting the Secret Society of Supervillains back in the 70s. I
Yeah.
mean, I collected it and then and later on, but going through, I have them all, and then suddenly I'm flipping through a dollar bin, and there's an annual that I didn't
Oh,
know, or
no.
a special that I didn't know existed, where they finished up all the storylines because it was canceled in the Cavalcade or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I didn't even know this was real, you know? So it's kind of neat. I mean, that's kind of the joy of dollar bins or just going through comics, but um, you just discover new things that you didn't know were printed.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's, it's good. And I like going through the dollar bins only because it's like, there are times where you're like, wow, I found this one issue. I like it. Not, I won't get it unless I can find more. So you pull it out and you just keep going and going and going. And then says, oh, there's another one. Oh, crap. I got three. There's only
Yeah,
6 issues in this series, or whatever. And, it's like, oh, okay, 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 everybody. We're looking for.
right. Yeah, I did that the last time I was at the dollar bins. I'd pull out a couple issues and like if they have 3 more, I'll pick it up, but they didn't. So I'm like, I'm gonna put these back. I'm not gonna just get 3 issues of this series. So it can go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to
Huh.
put stuff back for that reason. Yep. Exactly. It's like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep. Now I talked about my amount of comics, and now you going through your comics, did you discover you had more than you thought?
Yeah. I'm about 2/3 of cataloging my books. And the current, we'll call it stockpile, I'm at 4,046.
Okay, there you go.
So I figure I'll probably have another two ish. And
Yeah.
I've only cataloged the Marvel and the DC so far. I
Okay.
don't have any of my non-Marvel DC,
And you
any
have a lot of
Dark
that stuff.
Horse or
Yeah.
any of the other stuff. So
Right. Power line.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. There's quite a few things that I'm like, oh, I'm missing that one.
yeah.
And some I was stunned to find that it's like, oh, this actually is a key issue or something. Like, I forgot that I had the actual Secret Wars run, and it's like, that's that first black Spider-Man costume,
Yep.
and it's
There
like,
you
"Oh, I have that."
go. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes it is kinda good to kinda go back through and go like, "Oh, dang, I had this one. Oh, dang." But I did, in trying to organize, there was a YouTuber, there's a Pop Comics or something like that out of like New Jersey area. And his method was like organized by Marvel, organized by DC, and then put everything else into one box. Like basically that way you don't try to alphabetize absolutely everything, just Marvel, DC, everything else, and then alphabetize by those three categories.
Yeah.
It's like that's great. So we were going through these and like, okay, that's Marvel, that's DC, that's Marvel, that's DC. So we just kind of like separated them that first. And then I got into this kick of like grabbing the free comic book day comics. And I'm like, why am I keeping these comics? Not that I'm going to toss them, but I don't have any of these other titles that these things are trying to promote. So it's like, why am I holding on to these comics? And do I put them in with the rest of the comics, even though these things have nothing to do with the rest of the comics I'm getting? And in some cases, some of these free comic were like sampler packs where it's like, okay, yeah, it's 20 pages, but it's 5 pages from 4 different comics.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, that one's not gonna, I'm not gonna get anything out of this because it's like there's, you know, Boom Studios will have their collection of books, or there'll be like, oh, the Power Rangers Academy, and you're like, yeah, I'm not getting any of those other ones. So it's like, do I even bag and board that, or do I just kind of like set it aside? One thing that I am separating that's Marvel, DC, and then everything else lumped together is I am only, I believe, less than 5 issues away from having all of the new universe
Okay.
comics. I did go ahead and get that terrible Merc comic.
I mean, you might
Mark,
as well.
yeah.
It was
Again,
the
like we
only
were
one.
talking about earlier, it's like you feel like you have to collect. It's like I'm this close, might as well wrap it up and get the other ones. And sure enough, yep, I wound up getting. And I am missing a couple of that Merc series and a couple of other ones, but otherwise I've got that. And then once I have them all, then I'm sitting down and just going to bust right through the entire new universe.
Yeah.
And
That'll be fun. Like I look forward to hearing you talk about that because I mean, I have a few new universe stuff, but I don't have nearly what you have on it. And I'm looking forward to hearing how you see that universe now compared to back then.
yeah, I mean, it was like John Byrne came in and attempted to rescue Starbrand, and it's funny, the ones that they cut short, they only had like some of them they cut really short, like they only had 8 issues. um some
Oh, really?
got a little
Okay.
bit longer, but like Starbrand had I think 20 something. And then but like Night Mask only had like the 12 issues and it was done. um
Okay.
and you're
I think I
thinking,
only have 2 issues of Starbrand, and that's my new universe. Like
that's it.
I've
I even
I've
got,
1 and 3.
I even went as far as getting the Marvel Age, that like magazine that Marvel used to put out called Marvel Age, and it was just kind of like a solicitation of their books that they were going to be coming out with in the next few months. And the cover was new, launching the new universe. And I was like, cool. So I bought that because again, it was in the dollar bin. It had the new universe on it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't have my app up and running. So sure as shooting, I bought 3 of those things at this point. It's like, dang
Well,
it.
different qualities.
Yeah. Well, this is a direct edition, and
Right.
this was the,
Newsstand and
yeah. Um, but yeah, Night Mask only had 12 issues total. And Starbrand had it looks like it's I'm looking it up right here. Starbrand had 20. Yep, so I was right.
Yeah.
So but DP7 had like 30,
Oh wow.
Cyforce had 32, and Justice had like 31 or something like that.
Hmm.
And so,
That's
but
a good 2.5 years. I mean,
yeah, but then when Marvel tries to fold those into the dough of their current continuity, only Starbrand and Night Mask, the two titles that got canceled early on, they're the only two that made it. The
hmm,
cut.
okay.
And everybody else, thank you, bye.
Was that the series, like the universe that ended with the pit or something like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the pit was an event that happened, and it continued, but then they had the war,
Cool. Okay.
and that was like a 3-issue prestige series. So they kind of had a couple different endings of sorts.
Hmm. Yeah, I know Star Brand's been in the Avengers and all that stuff in recent years, but
Yeah, so they kind of brought it back.
yeah.
But it's been good because it's kind of got me back into comics, is having this cataloging aspect, because it's like they've been sitting boxed, and I'm in the same boat as you, where I had read the bulk of these things, if not all. I was a good probably 90% of them had been read. But then I kind of just stopped. I stopped getting comics altogether. And I kind of got back into it. Like, I would say there was probably a good 7, 8 years that I was just like, nope, not into comics. And then again, it picked up when I was at the game company. So I never got comics while I was in the game company.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of came back and got them again, you know, here or there. But then, you know, recently, just because it's like current comics, I'm just not satisfied with. The stories seem like they're just dragged on too long. The art is beautiful. They have competent writers, but it's just stories I'm not interested in. And,
And $7 a pop.
yeah, and it's like it's just too expensive to just test the waters like it used to be. And so I was mentioning I was in Tennessee, and they had a comic shop down there that was they had their dollar bins, and the guy apparently said I just had too many dollar bins, so he marked everything to a quarter.
Oh.
And I walked out of there. I mean, I bought 70 plus comics,
Yeah.
and I walked out of there for under 20 bucks, or around $20
Yeah.
for 70 books.
Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah. Or, I could get maybe 4 comics
Right.
of
And
current
enjoy two of them.
publications.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, I mean, I walked out of there with stacks. Now, what did I wind up getting? A lot of new universe. I filled in a lot of the gaps that I was missing, the new universe. And I picked up, I don't know if you remember this series, but I watched some YouTube videos on this one recently. And it was Dark Horse Comics had their superhero run.
Okay.
And it was like the world's greatest comics or something like
Hmm.
that. And it had like X and Barbed Wire and Out of the Vortex, and
Okay.
had all these other
Yeah.
books. So I just kind of was like, well, which ones of these are of interest? And I picked up the ones I thought were of interest.
Hmm.
And I mean, they had a bunch of them. I'm like, going a quarter. I,
Right.
I almost was like, if I gave you $100, could I just take all the long boxes?
Hmm.
Obviously that wouldn't work, but it was almost to that point where it's just like, this deal is so good, I cannot justify not doing it.
Right. And for a quarter, I mean, it could be a book you know you're not gonna like, and it's still worth reading. Like it's just you're looking at the art. It's
Yep.
like the quarter. Oh man, I love quarter idea. The idea of a comic for a quarter, just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta do that when you see quarter bins. I mean, you
Yep.
just gotta.
And so it was pretty amazing. I would say the bulk of what I came across in those quarter bins or the dollar bins or whatever you want to call them, they were all within the last 10 years. So it was very hard to find something. And I say that, and then I'm also saying, like, yeah, I got New Universe and all that's, 1980 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't like books that you're like, oh, yeah, that I remember that from the Bronze Age or whatever. It was like, no, these are, the books that no one wanted when they came out, and no one wants them now.
Right. Yeah.
And then some of them were pretty new. So yeah, it was good to go through and just kind of catalog the books and re-familiarize myself with like what I do have and what I don't have. And the sad side is that I still haven't had a chance to go through and organize the independent books, and primarily for one title, and it's because I know I've got the bulk of them. It's Howard Chaykin's American Flag,
Yeah.
and it's like, dang it! I know I own the bulk of that, if not all of it already. And as evidence of not organizing, not putting things in, I've got two complete sets of Chris Sprouse's Hammerlock. I found that I had like a complete run of another book and then um John Byrne's Fantastic Four. I found that I had five copies of a couple of the issues because it's
Yeah.
like, do I have this one? I don't know. So
No,
I
for a
bought it.
dollar. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, here's a bunch of them in a row. So I just grabbed a bunch of them in a row, didn't filter through. And it's like, so databases are life changing,
Yep.
absolutely life changing.
They are, and every once in a while, I'll still buy a duplicate. Like they'll have a different cover, and I'm just sure I don't have to look this one up. I know I don't have this cover,
Yeah.
and this boom got me with a variant, or
Yep.
something like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, but
Now, on your software, does it have like stats? Like, it pulls up like how many books you have that are Marvel, how many books that you have are
yeah,
DC?
yep. I can sort it, in a lot of those categories. Like I know, like even just the different series of titles, I have over 1,200 different titles. Like
Wow.
it's crazy how you can sort it. But I could sort it by artist, publisher, right. Like I could find all the signed copies, that I have signatures for. And then I kind of played with the database a little bit before they did anything. And I made my own field where, who signed it and, stuff
Mm,
like that. But,
cool.
um, yeah, I mean, majority, I know right offhand it's going to be DC. But they have a statistics thing that I can pull up here in just a second. Huh. And we'll see what my DC versus Marvel. I'm sure it's like a 3-1 kind of thing, but
Mm,
um, yeah, it's interesting. I have
yeah. Now that
62
I have my
signed
Marvel
books.
and my DC in, my stats show that my Marvel outpaced my DC, but it wasn't to that dramatic of a ratio. Right now, 2099 Marvel to 1300 DC. So it
Yeah,
wasn't like a 2-to-1,
yeah,
but it's like 1.75 to 1.
yeah. I'm laughing because my DC is currently at 6,197, and my Marvel's at 2,581.
Yeah.
Like,
3-to-1.
yeah, 3-1. So,
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of books, sir.
yeah.
No. what does it have, like, because again, going back on my app, it has like, it goes like most collected characters, and
Yeah.
then top titles, top writers, top interior artists, cover artists, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have that too. It's interesting. It has like um, comics by series. Like,
Hmm.
what is the most run you have?
Yeah, the longest run.
Yeah. And sure enough, my longest run is my Justice League of Americas,
Oh yeah,
um, because I have a 251 of them out of the 261 of
yeah.
them. Like I'm
Wow.
missing 10 issues.
Yeah.
So that's great. But um, I like this app because I can even go by year, like what year I have the most comics from.
Oh wow, that's
And
insane.
you can tell during the 80s, I was buying everything because
Yep.
like my top years were 88, 84, 86, 85, 87. Like those, I'm have 300 plus titles, or issues that year,
Dang.
it's just crazy. Um, yeah. And you
Yeah, I
can,
don't have that in mind. I have a free one, but I do have like the top 10 titles. The
okay,
longest run I have of any comic, like the most of any one comic, is I have 100 issues of X-Men.
okay.
So that's
Uh,
like, okay.
And
And
is that
that's strictly uncanny X-Men. That's like
okay?
the 1980 to 2011
Yeah,
run. I have 100 of those.
okay. I have
So,
nine more issues than you. I have 109.
wow. Yeah. But then, like and it goes like, I have 98 Daredevil,
Okay.
72 Fantastic Four, and I have 70 Shade the Changing Man.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So
We're
I
getting into
love that
some
title. I was
Vertigo.
Peter Milligan and Chris Baccello, I guess is, I don't know
Yeah.
how you pronounce the guy's name or not, but loved that title. So
Yeah.
then it goes to Batman Dark Knight, Legends of the Dark Knight at 65, and then it kind of drops from there. But that's like my top
Okay.
five.
All right. I mean, looking through mine, you can tell what I've always collected, and then I can see like some of my infatuations of the last couple of years, um, like my World's Finest comics, which I've been trying to get, but that's only like recent, like last
Hmm.
decade. Excuse me. And then like I have 105 of those. But um I mean Justice League, I have 240 Action Comics issues,
Dang.
218 Avengers, and then it's like Flash, Captain America, Legion of Superheroes. Like if Legion of Superheroes was a single title
Yeah, ongoing.
instead of like 20 different ones, I'm sure I'd have the most of those, but um yeah, Green Lantern, like all my favorite characters are over 100, and then it drops significantly after that. Um, yeah, it's fascinating. The Badger, I have 66 issues of the Badger. Um,
Well, if you want mine, I can throw that one into the mix as well.
I already have it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, I don't have really. I mean, the highest is that 100 of Uncanny X-Men. That's it.
Yeah, and
And
that's such an if it's the run I'm thinking of, it's such an iconic run. Um, I'm sure it was like one. Let me guess, 180 to 240. I don't know.
not, I don't think it's that early. Yeah,
I
you're
mean, you said 100 issues. Yeah.
almost. It really starts around, because I do have like some of the Paul Smith stuff.
Oh, you do?
So,
Okay.
but it's mostly Ramita Jr. pieces here or there.
Okay.
But I really started with the Silvestri stuff, so that was like 225.
Okay.
Um, and then it just kind of goes up from there. So it's kind of like the Fall of the Mutants is where I really kind of picked it up. I got some stuff, incidental things here or there in between, but Sylvester's run that led to Jim Lee's run, which led to Wills Portacio's run, which led to the Kubert run, which led to me getting to the point where, oh, and then Romita Jr. comes back. And I'm
Okay.
like, I'm done. This is getting ridiculous. It's like, what new, there's another mutant that we've just introduced this issue, and he's the newest, biggest hero you're going to, just like, enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could even tell that Claremont was just kind of like running out of ideas way back when, and then they gave him the boot. They made that whatever Fabian
That's,
Narcissa or whatever.
yeah.
He took over, and even that's like, I'm good.
Yeah. You have, it seems like I have, like my X-Men. Now I've sold my X-Men once, my entire run of X-Men, and then I've bought back some stuff over the years. That's how crazy I am. So I have some issues that I used to have. Like I used to have Gambit's first appearance and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Don't have that anymore. But
Mm.
I have a good run of like 165 to 220, and then a spattering after that. But um, I also have a couple in the double digits, like 60, 61, 69.
Oh wow.
But not many or anything like that. But yeah, I know what Uncanny I loved, so I went back and bought that again, and then I've just picked up some other stuff. But that was such a good title at that time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
couldn't lose. Like from one. I remember my first Uncanny was like 172, right before Rogue joined.
Mm.
And then they went through the Siege Perilous and the 220s, whatever, like with Longshot and Dazzler, and yeah, Silvestri came in. Like that to me is my enjoyable X-Men. And
Yeah.
then after that, with Lee doing just the X-Men title, I probably the first 20 of those or something
Yeah.
like that. But uh, man,
Yeah.
that was a
That.
good time to be an X-Men fan, though.
Yeah, because I mean, you had X Factor, you had New Mutants, you had X Men, you had, so there's plenty out there.
Excalibur, I was a big
Excalibur,
Excalibur
that's right.
fan. Alan Davis, come on, he's awesome.
That's true. That is true. I forgot about it. Yeah, looks like as far as the X Men title, it looks like I got the first, more or less, the first 30. Nope, I quit at issue, yeah, first 30 when Jean Grey and Scott Summers gets married,
Okay.
and that was it for that.
First 30, you said?
Yeah,
Okay. I have the first 29. I'm missing 30.
the wedding issue.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah, and it's like, I look and it's like Jim Lee didn't stick around really that terribly long. I mean, he didn't even make it. I don't think the full year. Maybe he did, but
Wasn't much longer than that, yeah.
yeah. And it's like, we made a special title for you. Okay, cool. Thanks. Bye.
I
What,
just,
what, what
rem-
about this title?
yeah, I just remember when his art came out, it was just like we were all stunned by it, like how many lines, but it was so detailed. Like I just remember going, "This is the greatest ever," and it probably still holds up. I haven't actually gone back and read any of those again, but um, I mean, it was liney, but back then we were just, I mean, new artist, and he
Yeah.
obviously had talent, and it was just, that was a crazy, crazy time to be a comic collector.
Yeah, it was super enjoyable. You felt like you got to know some of them, but then yeah, I was enamored by that whole Image crew before they got into Image, and then once they got into Image, it was kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this group.
Yeah, after a couple months of that, yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah, that's
just
good, but
missing
it's
deadlines and
right.
stories that were just like, what the heck is this crap?
Well, yeah, and as good as their new stuff was, I just wanted them to draw the stuff I like. Like go back to X-Men, like
Yeah,
just draw the stuff I really want you to draw, and that's so well.
yep. Keep it focused on that.
Yeah.
Um, Now, did you ever come across something that you're like, ooh, I actually own that one? Huh. Didn't know I bought that. When did I pick this up?
Probably. I'm kind of looking through, like, I have some oddball ones that I don't remember picking up, like Abbott and Costello, you know, I've issued two of that, it's like, well, when did I mean, I'm glad I got it, but I don't remember picking it up. Like having some Amethyst issues is like, well, really, I never read those. Why do I have them?
Yeah,
Um, but you know, it's most of it I at the time thought it was a good idea to get. And some of it I knew, I'd pick it up and just read it and go, I know I'm not gonna like it, but I want to see what the hype was about or something like
mm,
that. And then luckily I have an opportunity to go resell, and I have three short boxes in my booth at my antique store, so um
really?
I can get rid of things that I don't need anymore. For a lot of those free comic book day ones are in there. Just, somebody missed one for $1. Here you go. That's just stuff I don't, like you said, I don't collect it. I just picked it
Yeah.
up. It was free at the time. I don't really need all that.
It made sense, to pick some of them up. At I thought, well, one, it's free, and I'm like, going, well, why not? I'll give it I'll run the risk. I'll pick up this issue. But then you're like, oh, now what do I do with it?
Yeah.
I've got it, no idea what to do, and yeah, kind of done.
Yep.
And
And that's me trying to thin my comic collection now. It's nothing It's nothing personal to the comics. I enjoyed them and stuff like that, and we do a podcast on comic books. It's more like I'm never gonna enjoy this series anymore. I've read it, probably read it a couple times, and I need room, or I just
yeah,
it's more of a space kind of thing, or like none of my kids are interested in this, so me passing it on to them would is irrelevant. For this series, there's only a couple of books that they would want, and I might as well just sell them to someone else who wants them and make some room in my house for other things. And that's kind of where I'm at with my collection. I love comics, but I can also read them digitally, and I'll be fine for most of them. I mean, I still love the hold comics,
yeah,
and some I'll have in trade. Some, I've kind of gone trade route on a few choices, and so I don't need the individuals. I don't need two copies of something I just enjoy to read. And so, I'll pass those on to people who collect those. And, I've been there before. That was me a while ago. And, that's kind of why I'm thinning out my books. But I'll always have some short boxes of Legion and Titans and, Avengers. The ones that mean the most to me, I'll still have those. And everything else is just, free to go.
yeah. Are there books that you have gotten rid of that you're like, oh, why did I do
Sure. My Uncanny X-Men series
that? We just talked about.
with the first appearance of Gambit and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's stuff I wish I hadn't sold. But nothing really as much as I thought.
Mm.
There's I'm trying to think of something other than the X-Men that I've sold. Like I sold all of my burn run of Fantastic Four. I just never could get into it. I love
Hmm.
the art, but I didn't need it. And most of those I got for $1 anyway. Um, but there's nothing. I mean, I was gonna say something signed maybe, but I don't really sell the ones that are signed. Like I went to the show and had someone sign it. I have 99% of those
Oh,
still. Just
really?
yeah, just it means something. I got it signed or whatever. But yeah, I don't really miss anything. Anything other than a few issues that are hard to get now, like first Deadpool or whatever that I've already sold. Um, that kind of stuff was hard to get, but I profited from it, and if I wanted to read it, I still can
Yeah.
somewhere. It's just I don't own it, but um,
Now,
yeah,
when you were getting rid of them, were you finding that it better to sell key issues as a standalone, or was it easier or better to sell them as a run and include that key issue in that run?
yeah. I mean, I've done both. Like when again, we'll talk about the Gambit issue. I didn't sell that individual. I sold that in my run, but I included, it's more expensive the run. Like I did
Yeah.
mostly eBay and stuff like that. So I added it in there, but I mean the guy still got a great deal, but so I kept that as a run, but um like the Deadpool stuff I did individually just because I knew those would sell. Like someone's just looking for a first appearance. He doesn't care
Yeah.
about the rest or anything like that. So a lot of the key issues I'll sell independent. Um, it's I think you'll just make more that way. But there are people that even if the key's missing, they want the run. I like when I
Yeah.
did the Fantastic Four, there wasn't really a key in there. Maybe there was, but I just did the entire run of burn and lump sum. Here you go, you know, and it was a lot easier to sell that way than just doing each issue as a single
Yeah.
entry, and then you're only selling every 5 issues. Like then you'll have a clump of a knot of a run, and you're gonna get screwed eventually on that. So just here's the
Yeah.
run of it, enjoy it.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
because there's some of them where I'm like, yeah, this is just too difficult to either part with, or I've got this issue and it just, you know, it has some meaning, but I'm like, a lot of these though, yeah, I think I could dump,
yeah,
you know. I've got like, you know, but then at the same point, even if I were to dump them, it's like, who's gonna want them? I mean, because uh, you know, I have Conqueror of the Barren Earth. That was a DC title that was like Gary, um, God, why am I drawing a blank on that guy's name?
Jerry Conway.
Yeah, and it was one of those where it's like sword and sandal John Carter kind of, but for DC Comics.
Yeah,
And I've got them all. It's a 4 issue series, but I've got them all. No one is going to want it.
yeah,
No one's going to go like, "Thank
right.
you, I'll take these."
Yeah, and that's going going
And
through going through those issues. There's some that I'll just put out there. Here's the Time Masters run, eight
mm,
issues. $10. Like if you look and see what everybody else is selling it for, and just undercut it by $2, put it buy it now, and you'll be done with it. Like you just somebody will
true,
pick it up. You're the best price out there. Boom, you're gone. And just as long as you've not lost any money, like get
yeah,
your shipping right and all that stuff, you get a couple bucks out of it. That's probably the best you're gonna do on some of the unpopular stuff. But Yeah, otherwise
Yeah.
I've been throwing books for $1 at in my room at the vendor place at the antique place, and just if you find it, that's great, and it might be worth $3 or $4, but if I put it for $1, someone's gonna get it. If it's
Yeah.
if it's if it's around the price that you can get it on eBay or whatever, no one's gonna pick it up. And I think a lot of sellers have a hard time. Oh, it's this is worth $10. Somebody bought it for $10 on eBay. This is worth $10. I'm gonna get 10. It's like, yeah, you probably won't. That was a everybody else on there has it sold for 4. Just go for the 4 and get your money and get out.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah. Just keep on moving. Yeah. Because, I'm just looking and, there's some on here that it's like, man, do I buy again? This is another one of those cases. Do I buy the ones that I'm missing so that it can be a full run so that I can just flip it? It's like
yeah,
I'm 2 issues short of having the complete X.
yeah,
And if I have that 2 issues, then I can say, okay, it's the complete run of this as opposed to,
yeah,
okay, I've got issues 1 through 6, 9, and 12, or whatever. You're like,
right.
oh man, no one's gonna buy that crap.
And really, that just depends on. I mean, if you can get it dollar store or dollar bins on those 3 issues, it's probably worth getting those and then complete set for 20. Like
Yep.
that's, you're not profiting as much as you would have, but if you're filling in issues for $4 or $5, forget it. No, no, don't do that. But if you get them
Yeah.
cheap, it's usually I've found you're gonna sell it more if it's a complete line, or if sometimes if you're just missing one, you can say I got 1 through 6, 8 through 25. They'll see that as a big run too. That's
Yeah.
they're
Makes
not.
sense.
Yeah, but or you can keep them and love them and hug them,
Yep.
and I sell a little just to move things around, but I still have a ton of comics, and there's still a bunch that I wouldn't ever get rid of. Or if it means a lot to me, I'll put it out there, but I'll put a higher price on it. Like either this sells and I make some good money off of it, and then I'll feel good about getting rid of it, or it doesn't sell and then I still have it. Like then I didn't lose anything. I really like the series, but I'm not gonna sell it for less than this because it means at least $200, or whatever. It means that much to me. If somebody wants to spend $300 on it, it's yours. It
Yeah.
only means two. I only needed $200 worth of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I was, because there's a few where it's like I have like Frank Miller's 300 run.
yeah,
I'll never read it again. And it's like I got them all, but it's like I just and I was like, well, I was like telling a friend, it's like, oh, you should probably sell those while the movie was coming out. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, but I didn't have access to my comics at the time. I was moving from one house to another house, from, city to city, and it's like I didn't have it when the movie was coming out, so I was like, I missed out on that. And then the same with the Watchmen. It's like, yeah, I could probably unload my Watchmen series, and you're just like, yeah, they don't have. There's only, like you said, there's maybe a few that I'm like, sentimentally, I know exactly where I bought that. I know why I bought that, but
yeah,
I can't see myself departing with this. But you know,
yeah.
now, have you ever sold like a grab bag of comics where it's just like, here's a random issue of this, random issue of that, random issue of this, or was it always just like, no, it's got to be kind of like a,
Yeah, I've never done a grab bag. Just because I feel the first person who like if I make a dozen grab bags, I'm gonna disappoint someone, because they're not
oh,
They're
Yeah.
not that great, you know. It's just I just feel like I want you to know what you're gonna get and then not be upset with me, you know? Like this is what you got, I put $1 on it. That's the transaction right there, you know. I do like I also, you know, I sell other things too, and I've been selling magic cards and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I'll put like here's 15 cards in a pack, you know, here's you know, and I'll show you two of them because you know it's a clear little bag, and I'll show you the
Yep.
best two in there. There's no surprises. These are the best two cards, and the rest are okay. You know, I don't, but you know that's you know here's $4. You know, buy these. It's gonna be worth at least $4. But you know, I'll do that. You know, if I but for comics, I feel like I want you to know what you're gonna get. And I understand the appeal of mystery grab bags. And if I had so much that I was selling at one time, I probably would do that. But I just, you know, I'm selling small little batches here and there. I don't know. I'd feel bad if, you know, oh, all I got was Wonder Woman, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And not
That's all
even
I
a
was,
good one. This
right.
is,
That's all I was looking at the time. And I said, I don't need these, you know.
yep.
So,
Yeah. I, because there's some titles that I was like, oh man, this is hot. I know this is, and I bought them knowing that they were hot. Then whatever heat that was on it vaporized. And it's like, yeah, now what do I do with this? I didn't buy it because I was interested in it. I just was like, oh man, everybody's into this thing, so I gotta get it. And then it's like, oof.
yeah.
And then there are some where I bought because we were going to go to a Comic Con and that comic artist was going to be there. And I wanted to use it as a means to chat with this individual. So it's like, okay, I have nothing for Jim Valentino, absolutely nothing. So I wound up buying a single issue of his, Guardians of the Galaxy run,
Okay.
and it's like one issue, and
And you got it.
I got it, but it's like,
Yeah.
and I got it signed,
Right.
but
Wasn't
just
Shadowhawk.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. I don't know if I even have. I hope I don't have any Shadowhawk out there.
Oh, you don't know yet, do you?
Yeah, I gotta look because that's under the independent stuff, but I don't think I put it in. That I've got anything even remotely. Yeah, no, I don't have anything listed yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't own it. Because
Yeah.
like anything that was coming out for Image, I was getting that number one, that sweet, sweet number one.
Yeah. I don't think I have it. I'm surprised I don't have any Shadowhawk because I know Giffen did some. Um, if I do, I'd be so shocked. Just because I've never picked it up. But yeah, I don't have any. But
Yeah, I'm looking, and you said you had like 240 Action Comics. I have 24. I have 10% of Action Comics. Those do you have?
yeah, I mean, I love those old Action Comics, and so I've been picking them up since I was a kid.
Mm,
And then when Byrne took over, you know, I was there, got all those too. Yeah, my earliest action was is issue 312 from 1964.
wow.
But I don't really have a full run of anything until it looks like the like 450s and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I got a couple random ones throughout, but Gil Kane had done a few in the 540 range,
yeah,
and I'm like, going to be picking these up.
yeah, that's first Lex Luthor Green Armor suit was around there with Gil Kane, I think.
Ah,
That's going up in price because of the new movie coming out.
true, true. Yeah, because that was all like the superpowers era. Because Brainiac was the robot, like
Yep.
mechanical looking robot.
Yep. That was action for something for 50 something, maybe. It was an anniversary of some sort. Do, do,
Yeah,
do.
it's been And it's just kind of fun to kind of look back and see, like, oh yeah, yeah, I had, but then most of
544.
my Action Comics, where if I can say that I have a run, was the unfortunate coming of Doomsday and then
Oh,
post Doomsday cover, comics.
yeah.
And it's like, I think, didn't that, like, the Eradicator was the one that had the Action Comics.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. It was shoot, how was it? Jackson Geis, was it?
Yeah, yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah. And just like, oof. Yeah. I mean, but talk about a jump. I'm looking at the lineup. I have, like, 691, 92, 93, and 837.
Right.
And you're like, what the heck was that? I think that was like that 1 year later. It was the 837 kicked in.
Yeah.
But you remember, like, at that time, Superman had the triangle system going,
Yep, sure did.
and you had to buy all four, and it showed you how to kind of read these in continuity order.
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of worked, but at the same point, it just showed you that you're going through 4 years of Superman comics in 1 year.
Yep.
And it would have been just better to have, you know, kind of defined these a little bit more and said, like, this is Superman, and this is Superman family, and this is Superman partnering up with people, and this is,
Yeah.
and just kind of let them have their own continuity.
Yeah. Here's I'm going through the series again about how many I had. Here's the surprise that I'm like, okay, yeah, DC World's Finest Adventure Superman. Uh, but apparently I have 80 issues of Marvel's Exiles with, where they're going through dimensions and stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
across. I have 80 issues of those. I don't think I've read a single one of those.
Wow.
No idea. I have more of those than Excalibur, and I love Excalibur. So I don't know
Wow.
where I must have picked that up in like a couple runs, like, you
Yep.
know, and no idea.
Weirdly enough, I was buying comics for my brother. Like, hey, do you have these? Do you have these? Do you have these? And he would say, like, if you ever come across these, let me know because I'm interested. And it's like, okay, cool, I can
Mm,
do that. And but the unfortunate aspect is that he may not have access to his phone when I'm finding this stuff, so I just have to make a judgment call and buy them.
yeah.
So some of these things, I have a goodly run of the first comics version of E-Man, the Joe Stanton
Okay.
hero.
Yeah.
I have 12 of those issues. Do I need/want 12 of those issues? Nope.
No.
But I got, and it's like I've got 1 through 5, then 7 through 12, and then number 14.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
You
like,
just
I don't have them, don't need them. Now all of a sudden, I've got 12 E-Man comics, and it's like, I'll never read them.
right. Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, I say I want to thin my collection out, and I do. I'll sell 100 issues on eBay for some run or whatever, and then the next weekend I'll go to Lang's and I'll buy like 60 issues of other things. It's like,
Yeah.
so I'm still actively just enjoying finding stuff. It's once I have them and I've read what I wanted to read. It's like, I'm ready I'll pass them on to someone else. So, I still, the podcast, This Is Why I Love Comics, I
Mm-hmm.
still love comics. And I still, a lot of, for me, when I find stuff, it's like, oh, I couldn't afford this when it came out, like I had to choose between this and a Titans. This is going back in the box, or and so when I get to a comic and go, oh, I wanted to read this, or I remember the cover, or Mike had this one, or Dave had
Mm-hmm.
this one, And I remember paging through it, before I passed it on to you guys when our subscription box, but I always wanted to read this, and so I still love finding those and having the memory of it, or oh, I heard this was good. Never read, an elemental book in my life, and then, pick them up or whatever. And so, it's still about collecting them. But for me, it's not necessarily keeping them. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The quest, the hunt, that's always kind of been a top priority. That's like I gotta find these missing issues.
Yeah.
Don't care if it's good or not, but I'm missing these. Like I kind of have to read them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah. I will say that Langs, you mentioned them, probably has the best solution to comics that I've seen, because it's like you can really boil down comics to it's a key issue or it's not.
Right. That's pretty much how they do it.
And yeah, so you're kind of looking at it going, I'm going to either be able to get it for a jacked up price or it's in the dollar bin.
Yeah. And they have $2 bins too. So I'm not sure how they judge that, but maybe newer stuff is in the two. I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah, like but then you're like, how does that work? Because the $2 bin is organized, the dollar bins are just a free for all.
yeah.
And I remember, oh, nothing, it fills you with panic. Like two things happening. One, somebody else is coming into the dollar bin area with you. And it's like, dang it, are they grabbing the comics that I'm looking for? Are they getting the ones that I wanted? Is this, and then that's part one. Part two is when you've gone through and say, okay, finally, I got through this whole row of comics. Wow, that was, and then you see one of the staff members come by and just, they've got a handful and they're just jamming them into random spots into any open box. And you're like, oh, do I go back and see what he just dropped off? And
Yep.
it's like, that's more than what I'm, like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's more than what I can do.
Yeah. I've had some great experiences there at Lang's. Um, like when I would go there a lot, one of the workers there would recognize me and go, "Hey, the newer stuff's over here." Like,
Yeah.
we just shoved in a bunch of stuff and we put them right over there, and those, 4 boxes are like, "Okay, thanks." I've already looked through 90% of those. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool when that happens, but. I go there infrequently now, so it's kind of a mystery no matter what.
Yeah.
Um,
The new location.
yeah,
I've it is funny because it's like my son, my brother, and I will go, and I don't know what my son's into anymore. So I'm like, hey, what about this? Nah. What about this? Nah. And then I'm like in passing, it's like, have you seen this one? And he's like, oh, pull that. And you're like, oh gosh. You know how many of those I missed
right,
already?
right,
And then he's getting upset because I missed something that he wanted. And then my brother and I are like, what are you looking for? Okay. And then, I'm really looking for these things. And I'm like, okay, cool. If you come across any of these, and when I was now that I'm missing only select issues of the new universe, it was just like anything that had the new universe, pull it.
right.
Anything the John Byrne Fantastic Four, pull it. That was kind of what we were doing for a while. And it was just too, like it was super easy. But now that I've got the bulk of both of those, it's like, I don't need them. And you're almost feeling bad because like, hey, I found a whole stack of and it's
Right.
like,
Do you have this? Do you have this?
I
Do you have
got,
this? Do
yeah,
you have this?
got them, got them, got them, got them.
Yep.
And, it's just like, so diminishing returns in some ways because you now own them. But in other ways, it's still pretty cool to, just be able to, and that way, at least we have three people that are kind of, tackling it. And it's just like, hey, are you missing any of these? Are you missing any of these? And then we can kind of help each other out. and see,
Yeah.
who might have something that's going to help the other person.
Yep. That is true. I think that's probably a good conversation there, don't you think?
Oh yeah, just a little bit of a chat about the comic collection. Just like I said, I thought I had a pretty good collection. I got about 6 grand in the way of comics. Probably not worth 6 grand,
No, no, unfortunately, no.
but but yeah, you've kind of completely outdid my numbers.
Well, not on purpose.
Yeah, I think I'm at 27. It was my last count on short boxes. 27 short
Okay.
boxes.
All right. Most of mine's in storage still, so I only see them once in a while. But then, I'll pull some boxes and just look through them and go, keep, no, sell, kind of thing. And I still, unfortunately, because of so many lang trips, in a very short period of time, I have some strays like that just really eat at my heart, like some just some books I know go in to fill the gaps on over here, but they
Yeah.
haven't made it there yet, It's
Yeah.
like they're still right here. And it's like, you're killing me there.
Yeah. All those ones that I just bought, I'm looking right at them right now. I got this huge stack. It's probably about a foot tall of comics, if not taller. And I'm like going, I now need to put those in with the rest of them that I've tried to organize.
Yeah. So if you have any cool tips, any stories about collecting, anything like that, or anything you want us to talk about our collection, specific issues, whether we have them or not, what our most valuable comic is, not necessarily money wise, but what we think is our most valuable. Let us know if you want to hear stuff like that. We'd be happy to talk about our comic collection. Our webpage is and this is why I love comics podcast.buzzsprout.com. You can email us and this is why I love comics at gmail.com. We're on the Facebook and this is why I love comics podcast. We're on the TikTok, why I love comics podcast, and even on the TikTok very recently after my last Lang's trips. I showed everybody what I got on the TikTok. I went through my whole pile. Let me know what you think about that. I do that every time I go to Lang's. I'll show what I got. You can support the show, become a Patreon member, and this is why I love comics. We're on Patreon. Um, let's see. Thanks to our supporters and friends of the show. Thanks to producer Katie, co-host Matt 2.0 and 10.0, Kevin, Jamie, Keegan, Roberto, Ben Ferrari. Don't forget his Pilot Studios and his next Kickstarter, which is more Kanin the Marauder. And also check out his carriers, which you can probably, maybe, possibly still order from the order forms. Not sure. But check them out anyway. Let's see, what else do I say? Thanks to Thunder Chicken for all the music that we put on the show. Kevin's new band is Semi Casual Bedtime. Check them out too on Spotify. I'll have to do that next time I'm in the new vehicle driving around now that I have Wi-Fi on the vehicle.
Woo!
Woo,
Moving up in the world.
fancy. And thanks to everybody for listening to the show. Our numbers are continuing to go up, and we really appreciate you sticking around, especially in the 90s here, not the 1990s, but the number 90s. As we get closer to the road to 100, and that is so close, Mike, so close to
I know.
100. And then we're gonna try to do a little format change, maybe a little faster episodes, and we'll see if we can kick out another 100 in less time than 5 years, which is our our anniversary. Our 5 years coming up probably in it's like a week away. So this episode, I'll try to get that out. Happy anniversary, Mike! It's 5 years.
Man, crazy. Yeah, I remember getting the first one. It's like, dang, this is doing the first one was so nerve wracking.
Yeah, it was. It was very.
What are we doing? How do we do this? Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
How do I edit? And now we're just laid back in the chair.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, are we recording? I thought we were just chatting.
Right. Yeah. That's the fun of it.
Exactly.
So for the podcast, I'm Andy,
And I'm like,
and we'll catch you next time.
doodly 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 doodly.
It's next time.
Yeah.